The View co-host Sunny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance fraud.
Sunny Hostin, her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit.
Sunny Hostin and her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, were long considered a picture-perfect power couple, a legal expert and television star alongside a renowned orthopedic surgeon. However, beneath the glossy exterior of their success, unforeseen turmoil has unfolded. Not only has their once thriving financial empire collapsed into a staggering amount of debt, but scandal now follows them at every turn. The host has filed for bankruptcy, with details that are as shocking as they are controversial. At the core of it all is a massive legal dispute involving Manny and a lawsuit that seems straight out of a high-stakes crime drama. How did everything fall apart?
Now, he's just accused, and this accused in a lawsuit, after some time of investigation, could ultimately become a federal indictment.
Let's rewind a few years. Sunny Hostin had already become a household name, known for her sharp legal insights and fiery commentary on The View. At the same time, her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, made a name for himself as one of New York's top orthopedic surgeons, overseeing his own practice, Hostin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Together, they seemed to have it all: prestigious careers, a lavish lifestyle, and a public image that appeared rock solid. But, as it turns out, that image was more fragile than anyone had realized.
According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgery.
The first sign of trouble came with their shocking bankruptcy filing, something insiders could hardly believe. How does a couple earning millions suddenly find themselves buried in debt? Court documents reveal that their liabilities far exceed their assets, and the numbers are staggering. Reports suggest that even Sunny's impressive salary from The View barely makes a dent in the massive financial obligations they've accrued, from designer wardrobes to sprawling real estate estates. Their lavish lifestyle, meticulously curated for public admiration, now appears to have been built on unstable ground, with the foundation crumbling under the weight of lawsuits and mounting legal fees. The timing of the bankruptcy is raising eyebrows, and some legal experts speculate it may be a strategic move to protect whatever assets remain. Declaring bankruptcy could act as a shield against the barrage of lawsuits now piling up, especially the one making the most headlines: the case against Emmanuel Hostin. Yes, you heard that correctly. A lawsuit that invokes the same legal framework used to dismantle organized crime syndicates. This is no ordinary legal dispute. This has all the makings of a full-blown legal nightmare.
This is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York. You guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia.
The lawsuit filed by the American Transit Insurance Company accuses Dr. Emmanuel Hostin of being at the center of a massive insurance fraud scheme that allegedly siphoned millions of dollars from the healthcare system. The allegations are nothing short of explosive. According to the 698-page complaint, Dr. Hostin, along with nearly 200 other defendants, is accused of conspiring to perform unnecessary surgeries and submitting fraudulent medical bills. This network of medical professionals, including Hostin, is said to have orchestrated a scheme to exploit New York's no-fault insurance laws, which require companies to cover medical expenses for car accident victims regardless of fault. American Transit claims that Hostin exploited this system, billing for procedures that were either unnecessary or never even performed, with potential damages totaling a jaw-dropping $450 million. Yes, you heard that right.
He was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange.
The allegations go even further. The lawsuit paints a damning picture of a highly sophisticated operation involving kickbacks, falsified medical records, and phantom surgeries. Dr. Hostin is accused of receiving kickbacks that were disguised as legitimate business investments, while allegedly performing surgeries on patients who didn't need them. In one particularly troubling case, a patient involved in a minor fender bender underwent arthroscopic surgery despite showing no signs of significant injury. The complaint claims that cases like this weren't isolated. Rather, they were part of a troubling pattern designed to exploit the system for financial gain.
Emanuel denied the allegations via a statement through his lawyer, telling Daily Mail that his client, quote, denies each and every allegation and that the lawsuit is a blanket, scattershot, meritless lawsuit.
Through his attorney, Dr. Hostin has vehemently denied the accusations, labeling the case as a baseless attempt by a struggling insurance company to avoid its financial obligations. Sunny has echoed these sentiments, calling the lawsuit a frivolous and desperate effort to tarnish her husband's reputation. In a fiery statement, she accused American Transit of orchestrating a malicious media smear campaign against her family, using her celebrity status to amplify the scandal. However, while Sunny's defense of her husband is passionate, it hasn't stopped the public from speculating about what might truly be happening behind closed doors.
So we know Sunny Hostin and her husband, Dr. Emanuel Hostin, are preparing for a legal battle to fight accusations that he committed federal insurance fraud.
For Dr. Emanuel Hostin, the stakes couldn't be higher. His once stellar career in medicine is now hanging in the balance, overshadowed by the very allegations he vehemently denies. Patients who once trusted him with their health are now left questioning everything. Despite assembling a top-tier legal team to fight the charges, the shadow of the insurance fraud lawsuit looms large. Even if he's ultimately cleared of any wrongdoing, the reputational damage could prove to be irreversible, potentially altering the course of his career forever.
And they're essentially saying that it's a money grab, and they're also going to countersue for millions of dollars, $5 million plus.
Meanwhile, Sunny finds herself in an equally precarious position. Known for her outspoken commentary on ethics, justice, and morality, she now faces accusations of hypocrisy. How can someone who's built a career on calling out corruption and inequality reconcile that image with the scandal engulfing her family? Critics haven't held back, with some even calling for her resignation from The View, claiming that her family's legal troubles are a distraction from the show's mission. But Sunny isn't backing down. Along with defending her husband, she's gone on the offensive, taking aim at the media's coverage of the scandal, accusing outlets of sensationalizing the story for ratings. And she's not stopping there. Sunny and Dr. Hostin have reportedly filed a countersuit against American Transit, seeking damages for defamation and emotional distress in the amount of $5 million. Though Sunny has hinted that this figure could increase as the case progresses.
But it's just, I mean, Pat, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to...
Despite Sunny's passionate defense, the public remains divided. Many are questioning her decision to stay silent about the allegations for so long, especially considering her prominent platform on The View. While she's been quick to comment on other high-profile legal cases, her reluctance to address her husband's situation has raised suspicions. Is she protecting her family, or is she avoiding the spotlight for fear of incriminating herself by association? It's a question that remains difficult to answer, with no clear resolution in sight.
It does not look well when your name ends up with 200 people in a RICO investigation. This is the biggest investigation since Giuliani shook the tree and a bunch of mobsters fell out, right? This is big stuff. And so, and thank you for bringing that video. It sure is ironic that she's up there. So,
what's clear is that the hosts are now in the fight of their lives, both legally and financially. Their bankruptcy filing, coupled with the insurance fraud case, has left them scrambling to salvage what remains of their reputation and assets. While Sunny has managed to keep her seat on The View for now, the scandal has undoubtedly cast a long shadow over her career. Insiders at ABC have reportedly expressed concern that the controversy could damage the show's credibility, especially given Sunny's role as the resident legal expert. As the legal proceedings unfold, it's impossible not to wonder what the future holds for the hosts. Can they clear their names and rebuild their lives? Or is this the beginning of the end for the once admired couple? One thing is certain. This story is far from over, and as new details continue to emerge, the public will be watching closely. After all, Nothing captivates quite like a real-life drama involving fame, fortune, and a spectacular fall from grace.
Here's some news for you. The former First Lady has been noticeably absent on her husband's campaign.
This isn't just a story about one couple's troubles. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of ambition, the high cost of maintaining a public image, and the fragile line between success and scandal. For the hosts, the road ahead is uncertain. While their bankruptcy filing may buy them some time, it won't erase the allegations that have shaken their lives. With the case expected to drag on for years, the battle is just beginning. What will Sunny's next move be? And how will Emmanuel navigate the legal minefield ahead? The answers to these questions could ultimately determine the fate of their careers and their legacy, as the curtain falls on this chapter of their lives. One question remains: can the hosts weather the storm, or is this the final act in a story that once seemed destined for a happily ever after?
We haven't seen her, and her description of Donald Trump doesn't track with the reality of what we've seen. And I can't relate to the marriage or if they're even in the same place at the same time. So I don't think that's the...
Sunny Hostin's life seems to be unraveling faster than anyone could have anticipated, with the legal turmoil surrounding her husband, Emmanuel Hostin, dominating the headlines. But the truth is, this is just part of the storm brewing around her. Sunny isn't only facing a crisis at home. Her professional world is buckling under the weight of multiple controversies, unresolved feuds, and a growing list of adversaries. It's as if her entire universe is under siege, with scandals and legal battles closing in from all sides. So how did a woman once celebrated for her intellect and moral authority find herself at the center of such chaos? Let's start with the elephant in the room, or perhaps the rose garden. Yes, we're talking about Melania Trump. Sunny's sharp tongue is no secret to the View viewers, but her ongoing feud with the First Lady has escalated to new heights. It all began with Sunny's infamous comments about Melania, where she claimed on live television that Melania hates Donald Trump and is allegedly trying to sabotage his political ambitions. Sunny even suggested that Melania's public statements on reproductive rights were a calculated move to undercut her husband's campaign and escape life as First Lady. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room as him, Sunny quipped on air, adding that she can't tolerate him. While the audience may have laughed, the Trump camp reportedly didn't find it amusing. Rumors soon began to swirl that Melania was considering legal action against Sunny and The View. And while no official lawsuit has been filed, the mere whispers have set off a media frenzy. Sunny's critics have jumped on the situation, accusing her of crossing the line between commentary and defamation. Even her fellow co-hosts seemed uneasy with their remarks, with Whoopi Goldberg stepping in to remind Sunny to use the word allegedly, and Joy Behar openly questioning how Sunny could claim to know such intimate details about the Trumps' relationship. The entire incident has left not only viewers, but also network executives wondering if Sunny's outspoken nature is becoming more of a liability than an asset.
Sunny Hostin of The View, who's constantly raging about race and reparations and how bad America is and its racial past and all that.
But the Melania drama is just the tip of the iceberg. Sunny's name has also been dragged into a separate ongoing legal battle involving a former producer of The View, according to reports. The producer, who left the show under unclear circumstances, has filed a lawsuit against ABC, claiming wrongful termination. While Sunny isn't named as a defendant in the case, insiders say the producer has alleged a toxic work environment on the show, with Sunny's behavior cited as one of the contributing factors. The accusations include claims that Sunny created tension among the staff with her demanding and dismissive attitude, and that her fiery on-air persona often spilled over into off-camera interactions. While these allegations remain unverified, the lawsuit has added another layer of controversy to Sunny's already precarious position at the network.
You have Latino men actually voting more for him, and you have and black men was not the story. We're not the story here because they voted almost 80% for the vice president. Right. So why do you think that uneducated white women voted against their reproductive health freedoms, and why do you think Latino men voted in favor of someone that's going to deport, that says he's going to deport the majority.
Then there's the fallout from Sunny's infamous remarks about uneducated voters, which continue to haunt her. During a heated discussion on The View, Sunny blamed Donald Trump's political victories on non-college educated white women, a comment that sparked immediate backlash. Critics accused her of elitism and of alienating a significant portion of the audience, while Sunny later tried to clarify her statement, explaining that she meant non-college educated as a demographic term. But the damage was done. Social media erupted with calls for her resignation, and even some of her supporters admitted that the comment felt out of touch for a show that thrives on connecting with everyday Americans. Sunny's words struck a sour note, and it's a controversy the network is still trying to recover from.
Today's video comes to us from sunny Hostin. Sounds like a town. We're in sunny Hostin. She was on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show dedicated to researching celebrity ancestry. For context, Sunny is a staunch supporter of reparations and has made a fortune spewing nonsense about white privilege and racial justice.
Amid all this turmoil, whispers of discontent behind the scenes at The View are growing louder. Sources close to the show claim that Sunny has become increasingly isolated from her co-hosts, with tensions simmering beneath the surface. While the panel has always been known for its spirited debates, insiders suggest that recent on-air clashes between Sunny and Alyssa